So this is the Dyson V12 Slim Detect, and it is definitely slim by nature. It weighs only about 5.2 pounds, and it comes with a smaller dust cup than the Dyson V11, Dyson V10, and the Dyson V15. This dust cup is going to be only about 0.38 liters. Here, including on the Dyson V15, V11, and the V10, they all come with a 0.76 liter capacity dustbin. It also no longer utilizes the trigger system that we so fondly know about with all of our Dysons. These all have triggers. So when I want to turn it on, I press the trigger. But it was a little bit annoying if you wanted to just vacuum your whole house and you have to hold the trigger the entire time. Instead, Dyson has now switched over to a button. The Dyson V15 still uses a trigger, but here you just have a button. And it comes with a LED display, except it's the LED display that's improved over the Dyson V11, but it's coming with the same display as the Dyson V15. It just gives you a little bit more information in terms of overall battery life and how much suction or particles are being sucked in at the various sizes. What the other differences are is that now I have a removable battery. And you might think that a removable battery is not a big deal, but you have to realize that we've been begging for them in the Dyson V11 and the V10, but the battery is built in. So now if I just want to pop open and switch the battery out, I can just pop open and switch out the battery. That removable battery not only is great because if your battery is getting older, you can replace it, but also because you can get another battery and then you can double the overall amount of run life inside of your cordless stick vacuum, which gives you just about 60 minutes of runtime inside of the V12 Detect, which is similar and actually identical to the V11 and the V10. Now, because I'm talking about all these similarities, let me talk about some of the core key differences. And some of these key differences are going to seem small to you, but let me explain what's important about them. This is now coming with 11 cyclones. On your V11 and your V10, they came with 14 cyclones. But just because this has less cyclones doesn't mean it doesn't have a lot of power. All three of these units are going to be producing 125,000 RPMs, but because of the improved cyclone action here, this can generate just about 100,000 Gs of suction force. And the overall power here is going to be 150 air watts. You say, well, 150 air watts, but the Dyson V11 comes with 185 air watts. And you're going to start seeing some of these differences when you start vacuuming on carpet and rugs. Not so much on hardwood. I find that the performance is pretty much same across the board on hardwood, but if you're on carpets and rugs, this is going to be easier to maneuver because it's slightly lighter at about 5.2 pounds. How do you pick which one's right for you? Dyson has made different changes inside of their motors. Now, the Dyson V12 is going to be slightly quieter, but it's not quiet relative to some of the quietest vacuums out there. And that's because it is mainly built for improved suction power. The Dyson V11 and the Dyson V12 both run on the hyperdynium motor, but here on the Dyson V10 is using the Dyson digital motor. Does it really matter what they call it? A little bit, just because what that means is that the filtration systems are going to be improved in terms of the Dyson V11 and the Dyson V12 over the Dyson V10. But where the biggest differences lie is that on the Dyson V12, they're giving you this, which is something that existed on the Dyson V10, but not on the Dyson V11. It's called the Detect Soft Brush Roll. And this laser detect does make cleaning up your kitchen floors and your bathroom tiles easier because you can see where all the hairs and crumbs are. But it also makes it easier because of the soft brush roll. This soft brush roll is going to be better at picking up different size particles off your floor. Way better than if you were to just use the motorized brush roll that comes with all three of these units, even over the torque drive brush that I have on my Dyson V11. And that's because this is just going to be picking up material on every single swipe, every single pass, and it's soft. So anything that has a little bit of texture to it, or maybe even nuts or bolts, as long as it's reasonably sized, this can pick it up. And that's something that I do like. And we've seen the same technology inside of the Dyson V15. The Dyson V12 is really ultimately the lighter, more slim version of a Dyson V15 because both will come with the same brush rolls. But the Dyson V15 is coming with about 235 air watts versus 150 here. So you're getting a lot more power inside of the Dyson V15. So who ultimately is the Dyson right for? Well, if you're using this as a handheld tool, which I highly recommend, the more compact design means it's going to be just more functional as a handheld. It comes with a lot of the information that we want in terms of how much battery life do I have? Um, am I using it properly? I know that might not be something that you might find important, but just knowing how much battery life you have in terms of the suction power, and if you have auto mode, it can adjust its suction based on the particles on the floor. Something that we look for and something that is quite modern and updated in terms of the Dyson V12 and the Dyson V15. If you want to pop them open or just empty the bin, it's the same as before. It's just a smaller package here. So it wipes itself and you can just empty it when you're done, and then you just close it. So ultimately, I think you gotta decide which of these Dysons are best for your home. If you got a lot of carpet, I would go with the Dyson V11 with the torque drive. It just means you're gonna have more suction power. It's gonna pick up bigger fibers. It's just gonna work really well for carpet. But if you have a lot of mixed floors and you got a lot of stairs and you wanna use it as more handheld, I think the Dyson V12 is gonna be a great option. But if you're looking probably for one of the best values, the Dyson V10 is not something you should sleep on. It has the same power, pretty much the same features as the Dyson V11. It's going to be more powerful, it's going to be more powerful than the Dyson V12. I just don't get the soft brush roll or the laser detect, but you could always get the soft brush roll separately as an accessory on your Dyson V10. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. This is David with the French Glow signing off, showcasing to you all of our Dysons. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box and hit that like or subscribe button because it really does help us produce better content for you. And I'll catch you next time. This is David with the French Glow signing off. Bye, bye, bye.